Hey friend, it is Brandon Gustafson with Assisted Living Investing. Excited to have you here with me on the channel this Tuesday morning for our live. Today's video, we're going to be getting into the topic of hospice and assisted living. How is hospice going to affect your assisted living business? I wanted to get into that topic with you today. It's something that I see people ask frequently. And what does that look like for people? So let me get ready to share my screen here. And sorry, I don't have this teed up. I have a bit of a hectic morning this morning, but wanted to get this out to you for the day. So let's jump into this. Before I get started, though, I want to remind you to get over to the website, assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist. You can get the business planning checklist to kind of help you out through your process of building a business plan, which is one of the most important things that you can do as you get started on your journey to investing in assisted living. Now, why am I qualified to kind of teach you about this information? My name is Brandon Gustafson. I own and operate 2 assisted living facilities, and I do that out of state. I live in Utah. One of my facilities is in Colorado. The other one is in Idaho. I've been operating since 2020 and have been able to secure over $1.5 million in SBA funding. So I know that process very well and have a really good process for kind of teaching that. Actually, on my website, I have an accelerator course, and a big part of that is getting funding and talking through that. And we have a module specifically for SBA funding. So make sure you go and check that out. I'll have a link down below. I also have a master's in healthcare administration, have worked in healthcare for since about 2010 2011, so a long time. And I've also worked on hospice contracts, so for a period of about 15 months. That's what I did. I worked specifically from an administrative standpoint on hospice contracts. So I'm pretty familiar with that world, something I didn't understand previously, but have a lot of experience with it now. So I just want to share this information with you. If you are new to this whole thing of assisted living, type in newbie below if you're here. And if you are just kind of, you've been doing this for a while and you need help with operations and you're wondering what this is looking like with hospice, type in uh, operator down below as well. I'd love to see who's here. And if you're here live, make sure you type in some questions. I'll have some time for Q&A here at the end of the video. Now let's jump over into this. First off, I want to level set with you. What is assisted living? So assisted living is really at its core, it's assistance with ADLs, the activities of daily living. And this could be things like eating, toileting, dressing, medication management. All of those things kind of fall into this bucket of activities of daily living. And the reason why somebody would need to be in assisted living is they just can't do those things by themselves anymore. And sometimes loved ones, despite wanting to do that, it's a lot. If you've ever been around somebody that needs that type of care and needs that consistent care, it's a big full-time job. And it takes a lot of your time to be able to go in and help somebody with it. That's why we have assisted living. That's why we provide this service, so we can help those who are in need and need this assistance. So that's what assisted living is at its core, is helping people out with those activities of daily living, the ADLs as we call them in the industry. It also provides people a place to live so that they can function and do the things that they would like to. We provide them with meals. We're providing them with any other services. Really, we are there to help provide them with a life that is as normal as it can be while giving them the assistance that they need. That's a lot of what we do in assisted living, and that's the purpose of assisted living. Now, what is hospice? Hospice typically is going to be at the end of life, and I say typically because, as I mentioned, I worked on a contract with hospice, and as I was looking at it, I've seen people be on hospice for years, multiple years, and so typically, yes, it is something that is end of life, but that is not always the case. Sometimes people will be on hospice for a really long time. But a lot at its core, what we're trying to do with hospice is make people comfortable, give them the things that they need, provide some extra assistance as well. Sometimes when somebody's at the end of life, they have a lot harder time moving or getting out of bed or dressing. And sometimes you need multiple people to do that. And in an assisted living facility, especially the kind that you are looking at, like a boutique style a small residential style, even a care home, you just don't have the staff for it. And hospice personnel are able to come in and give extra assistance to your facility in helping care for those residents who are on hospice. And so at its core, hospice is there to make a resident comfortable, give them the things that they need, help them out with care, but also, potentially things like spiritual things as they get to end of life and have questions and want to know some of those types of things. It, those are questions that come up when people get to the end of life, and you want to be sensitive to that. And hospice is a great way for you to provide that type of care. Now, let's talk about how hospice affects assisted living, getting hospice inside of your assisted living. And is that possible? And absolutely, yes, it is. You can have residents in your facility be on hospice. This is actually very common. We had a resident in our home. She's been on hospice. She actually just passed away. I found out about it over the weekend. But she was on hospice, I want to say, for 6 to 9 months. Had been on it for quite a while. And uh, those hospice personnel were coming into the facility and helping out with that particular resident so that they were comfortable and they had the things that they needed to live a comfortable life at the end of their life. Hospice, what they do, well, they will come in and they provide that extra assistance. As I mentioned, maybe you need somebody that just can't get out of bed, or maybe they have a catheter, or they need a bedpan. And hospice is going to come in and help assist with some of those types of things and providing care that may be beyond what your care staff can do at an assisted living facility, or they need help doing because of the staffing situation at the house. And so they're able to come in and give some assistance there. The resident can stay in assisted living the entire time they are on hospice, where they may need to bump up to a different level of care is if they really have some extra care that is needed and they need to bump up into a nursing home type of a situation, going to a skilled nursing facility. And we talked about that in a previous live, so make sure you go and watch that video. I'll try to remember to link it up above so that you can go and grab that. But I did a video of nursing home versus assisted living and how you differentiate between those two things. But just because somebody's on hospice does not mean they need to move to a nursing home or a skilled nursing facility. They can still stay in your assisted living home. Really, as well, there's no change to the billing rates. So you don't have to worry about, oh crap, I've got somebody coming in, I've got to pay this other person, and then I'm going to collect less because this resident is on hospice. That's not the case at all. You continue billing the same rate that you would for that resident, private pay or Medicaid, it doesn't matter. You're going to continue billing that same amount, and the hospice is going to get paid separately. Hospice will get paid by Medicare. Typically, there are some states that are shifting over to a Medicare Advantage process for this. Is kind of a pilot program that I was working on. And so that's something that goes through there, but it is a Medicare benefit, hospices. And so you're not losing any extra money or anything like that. There's no extra cost to you. You're not losing money when you have a resident on hospice. So if you have a resident that needs hospice, don't be scared of it. Make sure you're providing and getting them in front of the people that are going to be able to provide them with the care that they need so that they can benefit from that and move forward in their process of living and getting to end of life as well. Now, caring for a resident who has hospice, how do you do that? You want to treat them like normal. You don't want to, unless they need some specific type of attention or they request it, just treat them as you always have. Love them and give them the care that they need so that you can help them through the process. You want to make them comfortable. Make sure that they have all of those things that they need because typically, as I mentioned, people on hospice are at the end of life. They are likely going to die within the next 6 months of getting that diagnosis and needing to go on hospice. That's just a fact. That's what the numbers would tell you. And so you want to be aware of that and you want to provide them with that care. And you want to communicate all of this to the family as well because this is the end of their life. And sometimes when people are in assisted living, family forgets about them. And that sounds harsh. And it's not because they want to or anything like that. They just get busy and they'll come visit them frequently in the beginning. But sometimes as time goes on, they just forget and life gets in the way. But as they get to the end of life, and if somebody has a hospice diagnosis, you want to be communicating that to the family so that they can come and pay their respects and be with them as they get to end of life. So that's something you also want to make sure that you are aware of and make sure that you are doing as you have residents who are on hospice. Really though, treat them like normal. Give them the care that they need, make sure they're comfortable, and just love them. And make sure that they know that they're a valuable part of your family. Now, if there are any questions, want to make sure that I grab those here. This is a little bit earlier than I typically do these lives. I just have a really hectic week. Wanted to get this out, really hectic day, hectic week. Wanted to get this live out. If you are not able to join live, make sure you comment questions down below, and I will get back to them via text, or if it's something that warrants its own video, I'll be sure to add that to my queue of videos to help you out through the process learning more. Also want to invite you to join the Facebook group if you're not a part of that. I know some of you are only on YouTube and following me. We have a Facebook group as well. It's called Assisted Living Investing, and it is there for, oops, sorry. It's Assisted Living Investing. It's unlocking time and financial freedom through assisted living. So I want to make sure that you are aware of that as well. As you're on your journey to getting to just kind of helping people out through everything that you're trying to do here in this industry. I love helping people, and I've got some exciting news and exciting things that are going to come up on the Facebook group here in the next week or two. So make sure that you are over there. I want to remind you as well to get over to the website assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist. You can get the business planning checklist to help you out through the process of starting your facility and getting that business plan created. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell as well so you get notified every time we go live and put out more content so I can help you along your journey to getting, investing in assisted living. I want to thank you for watching. Excited to help you along your journey, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching, and have a